Welcome to the deep dive, the place where we take the sources you've provided, we cut through all the noise, and get straight to the insights that really matter.
And today we're going deep on a topic that is causing a lot of, let's say, silent friction for experienced professionals.
AI prompting.
Exactly. I mean, you see it everywhere. The internet is just saturated with these super fast-paced videos, right? Someone type in these lightning-quick commands into ChatGPT.
And getting this seemingly perfect output in just a few seconds.
Yes. And it creates this feeling that, unless you're a really fast typist or a total tech native, you've somehow missed the boat.
That feeling is so understandable, but we're here to state the immediate counter-thesis. AI does not reward speed at all. It rewards wisdom.
It absolutely does. The tools themselves are, they're intrinsically hungry for context, for nuanced judgment, for the kind of experience that takes, 2 or 3 decades to build?
So that 20 or 30 years of domain knowledge that you already have, that's actually the single most valuable data set you can feed the machine.
It really is. It's the missing ingredient. It's what elevates AI from being, a generic toy spitting out platitudes into a truly trusted, highly customized assistant.
So our mission for you today is pretty straightforward. By the end of this deep dive, we want you to see that your lifetime of insight isn't just relevant to this new technology, it's the essential steering mechanism. Your expertise is the competitive advantage.
Let's unpack how you start putting that to work.
Okay, start with the core mechanics here in segment 1. Why wisdom really does trump speed in prompting. We found a really clear consensus in the research. AI is fundamentally a pattern machine. And if you rush that prompt, if you give it really thin input, you are going to get thin, generic output every single time.
It just has to. And that's where caution actually becomes an advantage. There was a fascinating bit of polling that showed adults 50 and older are statistically more likely to feel concerned about AI.
And a lot of people would frame that as resistance, right?
They would. But we see it as an advantage. It means there's a higher level of critical thought being applied to the risks, to the consequences, before you even hit enter.
And that caution, I mean, it's often well-placed. You just have to think back to the research on usability and privacy concerns. People have these ongoing frustrations with feeling, talked down to by new tech. That friction is real.
It is. But here's the counterbalance we saw. When AI clearly supports independence and it saves you actual meaningful time, people embrace it. The resistance isn't to the tool itself. It's to the wasted effort.
Which brings us right back to the power of context and the difference between a weak prompt and a wise one. This is really where the time you spend pays off.
Okay, so the weak prompt, the one that takes 5 seconds to type.
That's just write an email to a client about a project delay.
Simple and useless because it's missing everything that matters.
Exactly. So now let's look at the rich, wise prompt. This might take you a full minute to put together, but it carries 20 years of relationship history with it.
So that one sounds more like, "You are my assistant. I am a project manager in healthcare. My client is usually detail-focused and highly anxious about timelines."
Okay, so you're already setting the scene.
Right. Then you add the specifics. We are delayed by exactly 3 days because of a complex regulatory review. You need to draft a short, calm email that explains this.
Outlines the new schedule.
And offers one concrete, verifiable step we're taking to prevent this specific issue in the future. And, crucially, keep the tone respectful and professional. No overly cheerful language.
You see how much work that prompt is doing. It's defining the AI's role, the stakeholders, the nature of the delay. I mean, regulatory review signals seriousness.
It signals high stakes, something the machine would never know on its own. It might just default to a technical explanation, but the wise prompter knows that regulatory requires deference, not cheerfulness.
And that minute you spent writing that prompt is an investment. It is so much faster than spending 20 minutes agonizing over a tricky email yourself.
And that's before you even get to quality control. I mean, think about it. Workplace surveys show only about a third of employees using AI have had any formal training.
So most of that speedy output needs heavy editing anyway. Your judgment is the essential quality control. Speed can generate text, but your wisdom makes sure that text is right.
Which leads us straight into segment 2. How you turn AI from a generic tool into a true trusted assistant.
Right. The problem is, if you type something generic like, "Give me tips to improve customer service,"
you get generic, contextless advice back, like be empathetic.
Sounds great. Totally useless on the job.
And that happens because the AI doesn't know your territory, your domain expertise. That's everything you know from years on the job, the typical workflows, the weird exceptions, the internal politics, the unspoken rules.
And this is exactly what all that human-in-the-loop research confirms.
Hmm.
AI systems are just far more accurate and critically safer when people with domain knowledge are there to review and guide them, especially for those ambiguous, tricky edge cases.
Exactly. Where there is no perfect answer, only a situationally correct one.
So let's convert that generic customer service question into a domain-specific instruction. Let's make it useful.
Okay, so instead of how can I improve customer service, you fill that vacuum of reality.
How?
You say something like, you are my assistant. I manage a small regional bank branch team. Our biggest issue is customers waiting on hold for 15 to 20 minutes when our online banking platform goes down.
Okay, very specific.
We deal mostly with older customers who don't typically use our apps. Give me 3 specific, low-cost process changes to reduce their frustration, plus 1 short, calming phone script my team can use on those stressful days.
That is a phenomenal instruction because it just eliminated 20 pages of generic web content about call centers. It focuses only on the intersection of those 3 constraints: older clients, system outages, and low-cost solutions.
And notice, you haven't done any new work there. You've simply documented the problems your brain already knows how to solve. It's what some call a skill partnership. Your expertise frames the problem, and the machine offers pattern-based solutions.
And this framework really lets your existing skills shine. I mean, if the AI's answer is a little off,
Which it might be.
right, your review skills kick in, your metacognition. You can coach the tool, ask follow-up questions like, what did you assume about the technical comfort of my clients? You're basically mentoring a junior partner.
So if your experience is so vital, what is it that makes the experienced mind naturally better equipped for this than a, technically fast one?
That's our focus for segment 3. I want you to think about that moment in a big meeting. An AI-generated plan looks beautiful, but the most experienced person in the room spots the one fatal, real-world flaw.
That moment isn't magic. It's actually cognitive science in action. Research has shown that experts don't just know more facts. They see and process complex information in chunks.
So it's about pattern recognition.
Exactly. An experienced professional sees a pattern, not just a sequence of words. When you type that wise prompt about the regulatory review delay, your brain instantly activates a compliance and risk chunk. It scans the output for things like, does this create legal exposure?
Whereas a junior colleague might just read the email draft for clarity, but the expert reads it for implied legal risk.
Right. Your brain catches what this statistical model missed because the model has no real-world consequences attached to its output.
And that's connected to metacognition, right? The ability to monitor your own thinking.
It is. Research shows many older adults maintain strong metacognitive skills. That professional gut feeling, that little signal that says, I can't explain why, but this doesn't sit right. That's your expert quality control system working perfectly.
And we really need to use this to push back against the age bias that can sometimes creep into tech environments. I mean, all the data highlights older workers for their reliability, their institutional memory.
And their deep judgment on risks and trade-offs.
Yes.
And those are the exact skills that AI needs in the loop to prevent it from becoming a corporate liability. You might be slower on the keyboard, but you are faster at spotting what truly matters.
Okay, let's pivot to segment 4 and address this feeling of homework fatigue, this idea that you have to build a whole new clever system from scratch.
Right. The fear of creating a new technical workflow. We have a much simpler solution. Just recycle what you already have.
Meaning what, exactly?
The best place to start is with the knowledge you already trust and use every day. Your successful emails, your comprehensive reports, your checklists, your meeting notes. These are your teaching examples for the AI.
So you don't need to write abstract instructions. You just provide concrete evidence of what good looks like.
Precisely. Take professional tone. It's impossible to describe abstractly, but it's simple to demonstrate. Copy and paste an email you sent that landed perfectly. Then you prompt the AI. Here's an email that worked well. Analyze its tone and structure. From now on, adopt this professional voice.
And you can apply that same logic to a process, right? Like a checklist.
Absolutely. If you have a standard 10-step review checklist, just paste the entire list, then prompt. Turn this into a reusable review script. When I paste a new document, use these exact 10 steps to analyze it and give me a summary, plus a short list of the 3 biggest risks.
You've instantly converted an old, passive asset into an active, intelligent assistant.
And if you're worried about the typing, just remember that most systems have excellent voice dictation now. speaking a rough prompt can be much faster and more natural, and you can capture all the nuance quickly.
It's a great point. We encourage building what we call a prompt pantry.
Which doesn't have to be complicated. A simple notes app, a single file where you save the good prompts you create. You're building a reusable library, so you only have to do the heavy lifting once.
And always remember, the conversation is a back and forth. The first prompt is just the opener.
So now that we've covered what to input, let's look at how to brief the AI with the clarity of a senior partner. That's segment 5. The most effective method is a really simple framework that successful professionals use to brief junior staff all the time. It's role, situation, success.
Role, situation, success.
Okay. First, you define the role. You're my assistant in whatever your sector is. Then you describe the situation. Who are the stakeholders? What's the context? And finally, you define success. What does a good answer look like, and what must it avoid?
Let's do a quick example.
Sure. You're my assistant. I'm a team lead in logistics. A long-term client has raised an aggressive complaint about delays. That's the situation.
Okay.
Draft a short, calm internal memo for my team that acknowledges the frustration, outlines 2 concrete fixes, and, crucially, avoids sounding defensive. That's success. It's a structure that eliminates ambiguity and quickly becomes muscle memory.
And to keep your judgment in the loop, we recommend 3 vital checking habits. First one, replay the brief.
Yes. Before you let the AI generate the full thing, just ask it to repeat your instructions back in 3 bullet points. You'll catch misunderstandings immediately.
The second habit is to request options. Don't just ask for one solution.
Never. Always ask for 3 variations. 1 concise, 1 more detailed, and 1 that challenges my assumptions. This forces you to engage your judgment instead of passively accepting the first thing it gives you.
And finally, use guardrails.
Add explicit constraints. Keep this under 300 words. Or avoid buzzwords like synergy or disruptive. You are the expert. You set the boundaries.
These structures turn the AI from a mysterious black box into a clearly briefed partner.
A partner that you guide and steer, yes.
Okay, we know that even with all of this structure, there's still that initial mental hurdle, that feeling that this is all going to turn into a massive project. So in our last segment, let's talk about starting small.
Please don't ask, how do I master AI? That's the wrong question. Ask, where do I already feel friction every single week?
And just focus on one low-stakes task where you feel like you're wasting time.
Exactly. Whether it's drafting a tricky email or summarizing a long PDF, make that your one single entry point. And if you're worried about risk, create a sandbox.
Meaning?
Use non-sensitive material. Old newsletters, dummy documents, anything. Just test the tool and learn its behavior without any professional consequences.
We've even outlined a gentle first-month plan. Week 1, just watch your work. Notice the friction, no pressure.
Week 2, choose 1 task. Use the AI once a day for only that task.
Week 3, keep what worked, drop what felt annoying, maybe add a second task.
And by week 4, you're saving your good prompts and deciding on your focus for next month. It's about building familiarity, not expertise overnight.
The critical mental separation here is between what we call judgment tasks and time jobs.
Yeah.
Your decades of experience have to handle the judgment, the trade-offs, the risk, the tone.
And the AI handles the time jobs. The summarizing, the formatting, the first draft of a document.
Yeah.
It's a clear division of labor. You can use it to generate practice scripts for your team or to outline pros and cons for a tough decision.
The simple rule of thumb here is AI handles the first draft. But you, the expert, you own the final version. You are the editor, the compliance checker, the relationship manager. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, if you take only one key insight away with you, let it be this. You are not late to this AI shift. You are the professional these tools were built to support.
Absolutely. And while surveys show understandable caution, the reality we're seeing is that a growing share of experienced adults are successfully integrating these tools when they're given the right structure and support.
We want to reaffirm that core conclusion we started with. Your 20 or 30 years of experience provides pattern recognition, critical distance, and essential judgment.
Skills AI simply cannot replicate. Your experience doesn't compete with AI. It completes it. It transforms the technology into a powerful, reliable asset that is tailored exactly to your professional needs.
Start small, trust your wisdom, and remember that your quality control is the key ingredient. If you want a hand getting started with these concepts, learn more at ratosimpleai.com.